Fascinating. Really fascinating, everybody. Oh, forgot to turn on a light. There it is. Okay, back-to-back running shoe brands that I have never tested. So the last one was from Icebug in Sweden, Mount to Coast. Okay, I made a mistake when I unboxed this shoe. I said that I thought this company was perhaps based in the Pacific Northwest of the United States of America, but actually, who was it? Troy. Troy corrected me in Hong Kong. All right, I'll try to confirm that, but from the research I found, I believe they're based in Hong Kong. And I don't know, like Mount to Coast, that's a very interesting, very specific naming and branding, and so I don't know the rationale behind why they went with that, and probably to match that, and let's just dive in. So this is the Mount to Coast T1, which I'm guessing the T, stands for trail. So this is a trail shoe from Mount to Coast, based in Hong Kong, and it's a Vibram outsole, okay? But to match the uniqueness of the name is the eyelet chain. I have never seen this before, and probably you haven't either. It's kind of like, I guess you would say, the Solomon methodology for lacing up and tightening those laces through the eyelet chain. All right, I'll try and get some close-up shots for you, but it's double trouble. All right, meaning there's a lacing system, there's a cinching down right there on the top, but also on the bottom. So it's an interesting concept. Now today, I guess I messed around with it a little bit out there on the trails, but I don't know what I think basically, like, if you lace up too tight in the toe box, you could loosen, and for ultra running and longer distance running, your feet do start to swell after being in shoes for a while. Many of you probably know that because the blood can accumulate down there in the feet. And so maybe as you're going along down the trails for hours and hours and hours, you might want to loosen a particular area or section of the eyelet chain. I think it's actually an interesting concept. I've never seen that before. And, the other company, of course, that does the cinching technique, well, I'll just go with this one, is, of course, Solomon. They really are, frankly, one of the only ones that I know of that has the, there it is on your screen. I'm forgetting the technical name for that. But basically, so you don't have to tie the shoes, you just cinch it up and down. So, Mount to Coast, I like the ingenuity. It's like pushing boundaries. It's trying new things. That's what is fun about trying new shoes. Now, I will say the upper and the toe box and the eyelet chain on the top of the foot was not incredibly comfortable. I could feel some ridges inside the shoe. I gotta say, the heel counter and the collar, quite nice. But everything else was like, I did forget about it after a couple of miles of running in the shoe. But initially I was like, it feels a little lackadaisical with respect to the comfort level inside the shoe, like literally right on top of the sock, okay? And I mentioned this for, where is it? The Icebug that we already tested last week. And this semi-gusset for the tongue on the upper was amazing. High build quality, very comfortable on top of the foot. This guy, not so much. It didn't feel like there's no give to that. I'm just pulling on it right now. There's no give to the, what's it called? There's no give to the semi-gusset inside. And you can just tell, the material is not awesome. All right. There's no elasticity to it. Does that make sense? Just some critiques here. Let's just pull the sock liner out. Yeah, just kind of a standard basic sock liner. Okay, onto the midsole. Here we go. The midsole is a light cell based. All right. I kind of like it, actually. Now, is it for ultra marathons? I would say probably not. Maybe, but I'm going to lean toward more of that 13 to 20 mile distance, as far as that midsole. And I see this midsole breaking down fairly quickly, 300-400 miles rather than 500-700, again, we talked about in the Icebug from last week. But I do like it. It does have a little gaiter attachment there at the back if you are concerned about grit and sand and gravel getting in your shoes. So you could attach a gaiter at the back of the shoe. I like that little detail. I wouldn't mind a little pull tab on the back of that heel counter. Just saying, little idea, Mount to Coast down the road. Overall, with the midsole ride, it was enjoyable. Okay? 4mm lug depth on that Vibram outsole. Everybody is using Vibram these days on their trail shoes. Am I right? It's the Vibram Mega Grip, 4mm light based, which is the same thing that Hoka is using these days. So it's a little lighter. And I'm just studying this lug pattern. It's unique. It's interesting. I didn't trip. I didn't fall. I didn't slip at all. 4mm is actually fairly aggressive. So I would say this shoe is probably not for, a commuter shoe to the trails or buffed out trails. If you want to climb some hills, or if you're in some loose gravel or loose sand, I think this outsole would do really quite well. I'm not saying the lug pattern is anything special. Sometimes you see a lug pattern and you're like, ooh, this is going to bite the mountain. Not going to say that that is the case for this outsole, but no complaints. All right. And I like the width, not too wide, not too narrow. It's a nice width through that outsole, so I felt very stable out there in the conditions today. Okay, what else? Let's go back to that midsole, actually. Lightsail weighs, just so you know, 50% of EVA while offering 45% greater energy return, according to the company. All right, so take it with a grain of salt. And actually, while we're talking about that midsole, let's see. I'm gonna say it feels nice. It feels nice, everybody. I'm gonna go 35. 41 is what I'm getting there. All right, let's go on the other side. 39. Okay, so I was a little off. So it doesn't feel hard or clunky under step. It felt smooth. I guess my biggest critique is the upper. I think they need a little love and attention through the toe box just to make it and it gets a little narrow just as far as fit is concerned, a little narrow through that toe box. So if you have a wide forefoot, just be aware of that. I know it's unique. It's a unique brand. It's a brand. Is it a buy or a sell? Oh, man. And here's the price point on your screen. $180. That's a little pricey for me. But I get it. It's a new company. They're trying new things. So I realize that they're trying to make things work. But 180 is getting up there in the price range for this guy. Question of the day. What is your next trail racing shoe purchase gonna be? All right. So for all the ultra runners, mountain runners out there that are in the prime, in the dog days of summer, seeking those starting lines, what is going to be your next trail racing shoe purchase? Let us know down in the comments. And that comment of the day goes out to Jason. Running says, brilliant video as always, talking about a video from a couple weeks ago. I had been waiting to see what these were like since talking about the On Cloud Ultra Pros. Since they were announced 6 months ago. With my first mountain marathon coming up in September, your review has made me lighten my wallet. Choice made. Thank you for the great insights. Jason Running, you are welcome. It is still, where is it? I think it's in the garage. I apologize about that. The On Cloud Ultra Pro remains my favorite trail shoe. It is. I'll do my best to link to it down below in the comments, in the description, because it's so comfy. It's smooth. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna buy a second pair. Just saying. All right, trail running shoe playlist right there. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.